Okay, so I'm live with more of the RSD Game Maker binge. So, last stream, and then the stream before that, I was playing a bunch of the Gary Accord games. Fans of the engine, which consider these to be some of the worst games this engine has to offer. So, having played through all the games, how weird and or bad they are, just made me wonder, okay, I gotta look this guy up, see what shows up. So I did some quick Google searches on Gary Accord. Also had to type out games just to narrow it down because I think I was seeing mentions of Gary Accord that probably were not this guy. Yeah. The games were just so awkward and or bad, so I just had to know more. So it turns out Gary Accord also made some mods of either Wolfenstein and or Doom. So Wolfenstein mods. Did he also make some Doom mods though, or am I just mixing up the games? Also made numerous games using the 3D game creation system by Pie in the Sky software. So I guess no mention here of the RSD Game Maker games that he also made. Few of Accord's mods are actual originals. Most considered batch files would run and load random VSWAP files, and map files taken from numerous sets most of the time without credit. Recording would be featured, mainly textured floors and ceilings. Rest in peace, November 30th, 1948. And yeah, he passed away in October 2014. I just figured this out earlier this week. All this time, never even knew that the guy had passed away. Cosmic Zones 1, that definitely sounds like a name that Accord would come up with. Same goes for Pac Spear. Yeah, because he made quite a few Pacman clones on RSD. Wolfer Obituaries or Death Notices thread. Do not display again. Yeah, born in 1948, passed away in 2014. Yeah, he was quite possibly the oldest person to make RSD games, dear lord. I found out when I bought the Dolphin Comics book from Dallas from eBay that Wolfenstein 3D mod maker Gary Accord died in 2014. Had a journalism PhD. Wait, he had a PhD. Was a philosopher, author, Elvis lookalike, boxer, comic book illustrator, and lived in Dallas. So he did more than just make these old games. President of a science fiction club. His comic book was Dolphin Comics, his book was Heaven on Earth, and his magazine was Waterworld. I think that he had 3 wives and a son. I would hope they didn't have all 3 wives simultaneously, though. We exchanged several emails and he was quite a character. There's apparently also an interview between him and Eric Jean Roussel, assuming E.J.R. Tarrant and Accord, well, E.J.R. Tarrant and Eric Jean Roussel are the same person. An archive with more of Accord's games if I actually want to play through more, but highly unlikely I will. I had no idea Accord was that kind of character. Too bad he passed. So, Ultimare rings a bell. This fucking intro screen also rings a bell. World's greatest superhero games. And the name Dogs also rings a bell too. So does Pacman, Street Wolf. I tried like all of these. I've tried Ultimare, Dogs, Pacman, Street Wolf. I don't know what this is. Unlikely I'll be playing it. Monsterland. This looks like a Doom mod or a Wolfenstein mod. I'm gonna say it's Wolfenstein, it looks like. With these weird graphics that you would expect from Gary Accord. Wolf mods with that Pacman sprite I saw in quite a few of his games on RSD Game Maker. Zapak, Superheroes, Cap and Zap, and these all ring a bell. Ice Mare, that was just built off of one of RSD's own games. Any World Lost in Zapperstein. I've already tried quite a few of these. The Head. Yup. Jackson Zeus. Zapper 4, Escape from Neverwhere. This looks like Wolfenstein with Gary Accord assets thrown in. They're probably awful. Have you even tried them yet or no? I mean, I'm not too likely to try them myself. It's just, I figured this was really interesting to look at. To just know more about the guy who made all these clusterfuck games. The guy who made all of these weird-ass games. I figured it would be just interesting to know more about him. Designer of many Game Maker games and Wolf 3D hacks. Yeah, Wolfenstein 3D. Published under Accord Games. Huge comic book fan, also fond of scantily clad ladies. Most of his games seem to use a common pool of resources, and several involve Pacman tributes. First game appeared to have an Ice Mare, heavily based on Penguin Pete. After that, Zapman Zapper, Captain Zappin, Major Marvel, Jackson Zeus, and Street Wolf. Dogs the Head, Spacecraft, which came later, were spin-offs, apparently. Finally have the Mega Mixes, Any World Superheroes, and Ultimare, which fold all the previous games together into a mush of a muchness, as it were. Yeah, I figured that Gary Accord more or less made only 3 or 4 different types of games. Like, once you played one game from, like, one category, you've basically played them all. Just so sad that younger people ended up making better games than this old person. Yeah, he was born in 1948. He made a bulk of the games in the 90s, so... Yeah, safe to say, Gary would have been at least in his 40s when he made most of the games that are on this list. Pacman was apparently a 2010 creation, so Accord would have had to have been 62 when he made Pacman. And if he were still alive today, he'd be in his 70s. I never would have guessed the guy was in his 40s when he made the bulk of his games, and if he were still alive today, also would not have guessed that he had passed away. And if he were still here to this day, he'd be like, I think, 73? Yeah, I think this is the interview with him and Eric Jean Russell. I didn't actually read through the whole interview because I kind of want to read it on this stream. In recent years, Accord built a reputation on retro gaming sites through an extensive series of Wolfenstein 3D hacks and surreal experiments with DOS-based game creation systems. His recurring subjects include superheroes. I've seen the superheroes, alright. Half-naked anime girls. Tell me more. Ultra-violence. I've seen more violent games on the engine than Accord's. And Pacman. This should be obvious. Recently, we tracked down Mr. Accord to delve into the mind behind the mystery. Alright, so I guess the text in bold is Eric Jean talking, and like the text that's not bold is Gary responding. Hi Gary, I've been introduced to your vast catalog of games. I would like to ask you a few questions if that's alright. Sure, it'll be fine to ask me a few questions regarding the games I designed. I'll try to answer them to the best of my ability. Thanks for showing interest. First off, I'm curious about their chronology. Many of your games share resources. Can you tell me what order you designed them? Redid all the games in about 2010, so... Yeah, he redid all of that at the age of 62. When I modified the characters with background blocks, for one game I oftentimes improved them in the others. I believe Zack Pack came before Pack Dream, and Pacman was the last of the trilogy. Oh, really? Wheatley is still in the final version? I mean, I could fix it, but Blackout didn't. Why did you go back and tweak your old games? They had all been made with an older version of RSD Game Maker, and I got the newer one out there. Decided to upgrade all the games. I looked at the old games, and there were quite a few problems. Enemies moved too fast, and would kill you before I had a chance to finish the levels. I slowed them down. I'm starting to wonder if I actually played old versions of the games where the enemies were super fast and just hard to dodge at times. Gave the hero ammunition. Also increased the hero's movement capacities. My new philosophy was that the hero should be able to move about freely, fight slower enemies, but always have weapon capacity. Pacman was first developed in 2010. Yeah, that recent. And then he passed away 4 years later. What caused you to dig up your old tools? A friend of mine named Russell had come to visit me, and he brought a version of Yo-Yo Games Game Maker, which had a Pacman game. I assume this is the better Game Maker engine we're talking about, right? got inspired to create a Pacman type game, but I didn't really like the style of Yo-Yo Game Maker. Thought about my old RSD Game Maker and my earlier games, and the fact that I had some Pacman-like games on there. So I decided that I could do a much better Pacman type game than what Yo-Yo allowed, and thought about how I could link together multiple mazes with a large screen capacity, so I created Pacman. Or I played the older versions, I don't exactly know for sure. I was enthused about the game and went back and upgraded Pac Dream and Zapac. With some of the new sprites and character definitions I used with Pacman. Then I thought about all my other Game Maker games. I looked at them and they were a mess. Many were never finished. So is that why some of them seem to never end, because they weren't actually finished? Gary Accord himself saying that some of the games might have been outright impossible to beat. Levels were only half done, characters weren't clearly defined, background block qualities were all messed up, gravity was inconsistent. They all displayed symptoms of the shortcomings of the early Game Maker engine. I decided to upgrade them all, so I still think I very well might have played these old versions that sucked. Copyrights in almost all the games say 2010, so you probably played the later versions. Yeah, that's a good point. I guess if the year 2010 shows up, then yeah, you'd probably be right. Not gonna go back through all the games to see which ones were remakes and which ones were originals. I did, improving all the definitions and everything. The title screens, menus, and text screens were all updated and revised. If you ever run across any of the old versions of these games, you'll see what I mean. Many times enemies ran so fast they killed you at the very beginning of a level it was impossible to advance. The character often didn't have his weapon, and it was too difficult to find a hidden weapon. Character's movement wasn't very good, weapons didn't fire right, so I'm guessing I played the better versions of the games, and they still weren't that good. Character would often get trapped and be unable to get out of an area. I cleaned the character's definitions, increased their movement ability. I no longer made them confined to the run, jump, and shoot type, but allowed them to move up, down, or sideways to jump left or right, and to squeeze through small openings, so I guess I did play newer versions. Several of your games, even ones that aren't overt Pacman tributes, have a Pacman-inspired element to one or more level. Your very perspective. I made some Pacman levels in earlier games. After I designed Pacman, I brought many of the elements and qualities of that game into the earlier games. The movement capacity of the main character to move up, down, left, or right, to always have a weapon, and to make the movements of the enemies slower, they can chase immediately without catching you. Allowing you time to run away from them, and to make them not so powerful as to immediately kill you without a fight. Redid a lot of the old maps. Deleted many levels that relied on elements on the old RSD demos, attempted to redo the characters. Redefined the weapons and background blocks with newer properties allowed by the newer Game Maker engine. Redefined the characters and redrew them. Thus the pooling of resources, some of the levels are based on RSD's demo maps. For example, this was Penguin Pete made by Joan Stone, who was working at Recreational Software Designs at the time. Pretty much the people who made this engine we're talking about in the first place. Yeah, so compare and contrast. Yeah, this basically does look like the same game, just with a different character sprite. It's true that some of the games have leftover elements from some of RSD's demo games, but in 2010 I redid most of the games and tried to eliminate or change most of the levels that had originally been the demo games. I deleted a lot of the old ones, attempted revising the few that were left over. The first few Game Maker games I developed relied on elements from the demo games, which RSD said we could use in our games, but after my first two games I didn't use more of the demo levels. I attempted to make my games unique anyways. Anyway, the statement above may tend to make people doubt my credibility, and is not entirely accurate. Also, the RSD demo games were all created and exported with the old Game Maker engine. Any elements I put from the original demo games into mine would be equipped with all the improvements newer Game Maker had allowed, and thus they would be somewhat unique, something that had never been presented in this quality. Trying to see if there's anything interesting earlier in the interview that I missed. Doesn't really look like there's anything else that stands out too much. What about Ice Mare? Seems like basically a character swap of Penguin Pete. What is a character swap? I know you probably mean that Ice Mare is a version of Penguin Pete with a character swapped to Sergeant Super, but I'm not sure if that's what you said. Also, the enemies and blocks have been redefined, the whole game compiled with a new Game Maker engine. Also, the documentation states that you are free to enhance Penguin Pete, and you may borrow any of its gameware for use in your games. But does this mean that the game you make will forever be a Penguin Pete game? I don't know if that's entirely fair. Penguin Pete was made with an old copy of the engine, Ice Mare a newer one. A lot of elements in the game are different. I probably really have to play both games and see if he's actually telling the truth or not. Could you explain your design process? Okay, what is this screenshot here? Okay, so this is from, I assume, a Wolfenstein mod called Strange Worlds 3. So there's the anime girl. Yeah, I would like an explanation for the design process, please. Once you have a basic idea for a game, where do you go from there? Gosh, this is a difficult question. It really depends on the game engine as to what steps I take in developing a game. With RSD Game Maker, the game begins with deciding on a title and making a title screen. Then you have to develop the character for the game. And you can come up with new ideas for background blocks and enemies. Or in a course case, just recycle them between different games, from what I've seen. Oftentimes, you get some of the enemies and background blocks from other games you've created. Often is sort of an exaggeration if we're talking a chord here. Sometimes you start a level from scratch, other times you import a map from another of your games and use it as a base to make a different map with. Going back, you said you modified your copy of Game Maker. I'm guessing you mean the altered file extensions and so forth. What was your reasoning for doing all that? Wanted my games to be unique and not to be identifiable with Game Maker. This was for several reasons. One of which is that people couldn't easily load my games into Game Maker to change them up and then just release them as their own. Other reason was to protect me from any legal claim Game Maker might make against me, if my games were to become extremely commercially successful. Did this guy seriously think that some of his games were going to become extremely commercially successful? I hate to say it, but by judging from what I've played, that just sounds ridiculous. What sort of response have you gotten? You mentioned your fans a few times. I used to get 2 or 3 registrations a month back in the day when shareware catalogs, so registrations implied that people actually did buy the games back in the day that we're talking about here. So people did actually pay real money for this. Yeah, I think I'm reading this correctly. Back in the day when shareware catalogs such as Big Byte, JCSM Public, Software Library, Mom and Pop Software, etc. used to carry the games, but I stopped getting registrations about 6 years ago. So this was an interview taken in, I assume, 2013. So he stopped getting registrations in 2007. Is this actually true? I find it hard to believe that people were just buying these all the way up to 2007. Started my website last year and I get about 20 visits per day. Most of my fans nowadays are ones who like the games I made using Wolfenstein. Also on my websites I have a lot of followers who download my games and the other games on my site regularly. The site also has download links for about 150 other games, along with my 80 or so. Also I sell several game CDs, my Dolphin Comics PC comic book. Yeah, the Gary Accord comic book. We have to see that too, perhaps. And a philosophy book I wrote called Heaven on Earth on the web pages. A philosophy book from Gary Accord. That sounds very interesting. I was a comic book artist back in the day. Also have a fan base for philosophical publications. My book was made a required reading at the Minnesota Institute of Philosophy. And they held a banquet in my honor at which they awarded me a PhD in philosophy for my book, Heaven on Earth. On that note, you seem to have some sort of greater cosmology going on with your games. There are several crossovers. To what extent have you mapped all this out? First created Captain Zappin, but later didn't like the name. Afterwards created Sergeant Super, but decided they wanted a character called Major Marvel. Major Marvel would wound up looking a lot like Captain Zappin. At the time, I didn't know Captain Zappin would last. And for all I knew, people looking at Major Marvel would never see Cap'n Zappin'. So I put my work into Major Marvel and set Cap'n Zappin' aside. However, Cap'n Zappin' continued to have a following, so I never discontinued the game. But I like your view that possibly there are two parallel worlds, where Cap'n Zappin' and Zapper reside in one, and Major Marvel and Zapman in the other. Also, Sergeant Super would be in the first world, and Jackson Zeus in the second. I don't know, I still honestly cannot get over the name Jackson Zeus. Sort of confused about the relationship between Zapper and Zapman. Wow, this is a long interview. I had no idea it was going to go on this long. I get why you would want to rename StarCraft to Spacecraft, but the Zapper games had puzzled me. Tried to give the later Zapper games consistent names, as I revised them through several name changes. I find it hard to tell Zapper and Zapman apart. Seem to be at least 9 different sprites of various sizes and styles. What's the explanation behind some of the more radical design variants, like the superheroes version with the flamboyant outfit? That was as he was designed when I first made the Zapper games. Later I changed the costume, but I thought I'd keep a level 2 with the earlier costume. The Street Wolf character, is that your own design? He's very distinctive. Yes, I designed the character. He moves like no other character. He kind of dances a strange dance. He moves with a rhythm. He somehow took on a personality of his own. I think the wild blonde hairstyle resembled something I saw in some Street Fighter game. He reminded me a bit of SNK's characters, like from the King of Fighters. He's got some lanky hip quality. Got his hairstyle from an illustration advertising Street Fighter. Regarding your statement regarding the characters seeming to be similar to the DC 2 World characters, I think this is probably because it developed 1-block and 2-block characters. They probably exist in the same universe, but they're different sizes. So some characters are just 2 times taller than the others. Got it. I hope this clarifies a few things. I'm sorry I'm not better in answering your question regarding the chronology of the games. It was so long ago, and I've designed about 60 games since then with various other game engines, that I can't really remember the order in which I created them. I could probably figure it out by going back and looking through tons and tons of old 3.25-inch floppy disks, but I hate going through them, and it would still be a puzzle to figure out the order they came out. Thanks, Gary. This is one of the most confusing pieces of lore out there, Extreme Rec writes. So yeah, philosophy book. Heaven on Earth. I want to Google this too, before actually playing any games. Okay, I spent like almost 25 minutes just reading more information on Gary Accord. And now I want to look up his book, Heaven on Earth. See if it shows up. Okay, I'm actually getting some results. Yeah, I got a few results for the book. Okay, Pie in the Sky was this other game engine that he had used to make games. And I assume these are some of the games he made with Pie in the Sky. Accord Games was the game development label of the late Gary Accord, which produced some games using the 3D game creation system. Current URL for the archival mirror of the GCS Games website features a playful dig at Accord. So another tool for creating games. So yeah, the Pi 3D GCS Accord also dabbled with this. Yeah, so I actually got some results here. Okay, so what if I click this? Heaven on Earth, hardcover, January 1977 by Gary Accord, so this was quite a few years before the actual games he made. Publisher Wada World. No image available. What if I follow this URL? No image available still. Yeah, so apparently the books do exist. Like, there is such a book. I might spend even more time later just trying to see if I can actually find the book for free. See if I can pirate it. So I think now I'm finally going to start playing some more games. Yeah, that was very interesting. And still kind of sad to hear that he passed away. Did not know this. Had no idea that he passed away, like, about 7 years ago, give or take. Stream of me reading the book. That definitely doesn't sound like the worst idea out there. So the guy made most of the games in his 40s. He was apparently also into half-naked anime girls when he was in his 40s because we were talking about, like, Wolfenstein mods, and I don't think Wolfenstein was a thing before the 1990s. I mean, if he were still alive today, I would have maybe considered trying to meet up with him. Well, not in real life, just find him online, then maybe just hand him some of my half-naked anime girl pics, but that would have been really awkward considering I would have been sending, like, these pics to a guy who was literally in his 70s. Yeah, I'll share some of my stash, and then I realized the guy's in his 70s, like, okay. Yeah, so I was actually playing this James Foe games the previous stream. This was after I finished the rest of the Gary Accord games. So I tried BM, based off of Blaster Master. Eclipse isn't really a game, it's just a sort of tech demo with the storyline option on the menu. I then played Ego Force because I couldn't play Eclipse, and then I stopped there last week. So I'll continue from Gapper onwards. Yeah, it sucks that he passed away, still. Right, so no instructions, storyline, or credits given for Gapper, and it's also labeled as incomplete. So I'm painting these white pipes blue or something like that. If they're lines or roads or pipes, I don't know. I'm painting them blue. I can go up here and paint more tiles blue. I can go up here. Okay, I might be playing through some really short games if they're just incomplete like this. Yeah, it's basically just painting the castle dark blue, it looks like, because it seems like all I can do here. I'll paint all the tiles and if nothing else happens, and I think it's just immediately, like, on to the next game. Then I would assume it would be time to just go straight to the next game if nothing happens. Yeah, I'll have to see what I can do about finding Gary Accord's philosophy book, because I'm pretty sure I want to read it. Yeah, it was certainly younger when he wrote that, so the year said 1977 for that book. So something like I think like almost 30 at that point, since he was born in 48. And yeah, I'm pretty sure like that is the guy we're talking about here that made Any World, Captain Zap, and so on and so forth. Jackson Zeus, like the whole 9 yards. Okay, I think I painted everything in this game that I could paint blue, so... You just go to the door and that's about it. You can complete the level. Oh, it's completable? Okay, open this up. Yeah, I think that is about it. You're probably right. Alright, so I guess next game. So I guess it's on to Havoc now. Yeah, I can see that. Yeah, I had no idea Gary Accord was also a philosopher. I would not have guessed. I tell you, the more you know. Are there even any instructions? Okay, apparently there is no real instruction screen. What about storyline? Maybe not even that. Maybe also no credits, just this. So you're saying this is just an episode select screen? So is it possible to actually select one or no? I have to wonder how long it took to actually just make this episode select screen. If this is all there is of this game here I'm playing right now. If this is it, then I have to wonder how long it took to actually make this screen. I was about to say I could go, like, off the screen. Yeah, I think this is it. So I guess I'll just move on to the Mist if that was really it. Oh, another RPG made on this engine. Oh, there's a story. In the kingdom of Ethi, rumors stir that an evil wizard is planning to attack. The king, not concerned by the news, ignores the danger. And then the wizard attacks anyways, and then next thing you know, everyone's in danger. Yep. Then one night, the wizard and his evil army attacked. Many of the king's bravest soldiers died. The next day, Princess Brittany, the king's only daughter, was nowhere to be found. She was to be wed to Prince Edgar the next day. You have to mention... You've been chosen by the king to rescue Princess Brittany from the wizard's clutches, and bring her back so she can marry Prince Edgar and rule the kingdom. Mentis Akin Ako? So this is what it would have looked like, right? I can't seem to go any further in that direction. So just this castle and, like, the courtyard surrounding it, you mean? Can't seem to go in there either. Okay, there's a bedroom with, like, 8 beds in it. Another bedroom. Surely at least quite a few people if there's 2 bedrooms with 8 beds in each. Okay, I'm just walking out into the void now. Off we go into the great unknown. Okay, now we're back on the grass. Okay. I guess this is it. So I'll just boot up the next one. So Moonshot was a simple experiment with an intro and menu screens. So I assume I'll spend very little time looking at this also. For hundreds of years, legend has told of a great power which lies beyond the world we know. A power so pure its light would bring eternal peace to all living things. Do I have to press enter to just advance the story, or do I just sit here? Okay, I guess I just sit here. That was a short enough intro. No game specific. I guess that other word is instructions. I'm missing these game files. Except it doesn't even look like any game files. Alright, so the game files to actually play the game are missing, or they were simply never created in the first place. So I guess there's also no game here. Okay, it's just making this stream go by much quicker. I have already tried out Mortal Harvey all the way back in part 2, actually, so I'm going to just go to Mr. Chalk. And of course, continue down the list. Yeah, I played Mortal Harvey, I think, back in, like, part 2 of the RSD Game Maker binge stream, if not part 3. Oh, there's this title screen now. No game-specific instructions. No game-specific storyline. No game-specific credits. Can this guy jump? Oh, right. 7 and 9 to jump. I clearly haven't played like one of these games in a while where I can actually jump around. So I guess there's some sort of game here, but how did I not get killed by all these hazards that I'm looking at right now? Okay, I guess I do that. Yeah, so this is Mr. Chalk. Alright, yeah, look at him go. I was about to ask if we were... Okay, I just fell through the floor. I just fell on the floor. Okay, what gives? Why did I fall on the floor? Clearly. A lot of death traps indeed. So this isn't just gonna end in like literally 30 seconds, I don't think. Guess there's actually a game here. And a lot of projectiles that want me dead, it seems. Alright, I just got a game over already. That was quick. Okay, I don't even know what got me that time. I'm gonna try and go further this way right now. Okay, just made it here. haven't seen this many hazards in an RSD game in a while. But at least they're still easy enough to dodge if you know what you're doing. And I just fell through another floor. Can I stop falling through floors? God damn it. Why am I falling through floors? Alright, just game over it again, I see. I'll try to go a bit further to the right still. If I fall through that floor again, then I might just move on to the next game if I keep falling through floors. Oh, really? So there's supposed to be, like, stuff you fall through. Yeah, you're supposed to pass through those? Really? I just got caught on another one. Why am I playing this if it's literally just gonna be false floors everywhere? Okay, I should have been trying harder that time around. Yeah, if it's just gonna be false floors scattered around the level, I don't think I'll be playing for that much longer. I guess it's back to trying to go to the right. Beep. You gotta love that hit sound, though. I'm sorry, but I've had enough. Okay, what is puzzle? I'm sorry, but I think I've seen all I needed to see. Well, let's see what puzzle's gonna be like. This has instructions or no? Does this actually have instructions, or is it just gonna give me a blank screen again for the instructions? Yeah, just a blank screen. What about the story? Same blank screen, I think. And the credits. I think that same blank screen again, probably. Alright, so this game has no instructions. Okay, what was that supposed to say? Word doesn't start with P. Figure out a word. Am I allowed to move up or no? That was quick. Oh wow, that puddle of blood. And the game's already over. It's not the V! It's also not the S either. No, really, what the hell am I playing? If all else fails, go for A. It's not A. What the fuck is this? I have to just wait for the high score screen to go away, even though you can't get high scores in this, just to try again. Can't think of too many words that like don't have like a U after the Q, so can I just like simply take the Q out of the equation? I'm gonna try I. Fuck off. Yeah, I don't feel like I need to go step on Q. That's probably gonna fail if I have to spell out a word. You will something is what I'm hearing. Did I try W already? I'll try K. K. A. Ka. S. S. I? What the fuck? Trying to think of a word that starts with letters K, A, and S. No, why did it go to A? Come on! I meant to go back to K. Stupid game. What if I go to F? KF. I can probably think of even fewer words that like have like a K and an F right next to each other, so why did I do that? It seems to be A and the third seems to be S. Then what do I do then? I don't think it's V. What about O? No. Oh my god. Is there any way to make the guy who would go backwards? Or can he only go forwards? Yeah, can I make him go down a tile or no? Yeah, I'm trying other buttons to see if that does the trick. Seems like the other buttons aren't doing anything. I thought A was the second letter. Come on now, what do we do here? Alright, so... think of the letter that goes before F. E, but... how do I get to the E from this K? How do I get there, though? It's not like I can reach it. Okay, now I can suddenly go into the V.
E.
E. K. A. What the hell? I can go on the A. Ken. Nope. Okay, now I'm understanding how this works. Fuck off, I want to go to the E. Yeah, now I think I actually know how the grid works. So you press space to pick a letter. So if I go on the K, then I'm not actually choosing the A or the S by going, like, further to the right on this row. I've locked in the K and that's it so far. Now I'm gonna lock in the E. I was gonna guess, like, Y for key. Only other letters that would have made sense would be maybe the G for keg. I went with Ken. Ket, I don't think is a word. Key makes the most sense, if not keg.
Why? You might have won this.
And I beat the game. That's it. It took me that long to beat it. That's just sad, it took me that long to win it.
K. E. Y.
I was so confused! I thought it was also just choosing the A and the S. So I was trying to think of a word that had the letters K, A, and S in it. I was gonna say castrate, but that starts with a C. I wasn't so sure how to get to the E until it just hit me that I'm not actually choosing other letters until I press space again. So that was just funnier than it should have been. I can't just play this directly in my browser, so I'll just pass on it and go for Thundersnot Johnny instead. Unfinished sequel to Mortal Harvey. Yeah, let's try that. I mean, what else is it gonna be? Could either have been key or keg. What else would have been actual words at that point? Oh, there's a story. Thundersnot Johnny. Here's your average freak of the city. And what would you know? He's sick of city life. He decided to take a walk on the something side for a day or two. He's going to the biggest fun park in the entire galaxy, Pleasure Planet. The only fun park that's a planet. However, PP, short version, doesn't have a good reputation of keeping people alive. The planet isn't just a park, but a ticking time bomb just waiting to explode. Millions of dangerous killers have taken over PP. Since this entire planet's security is made up of stupid robots. They've created the fortress of amusement park rides. After the visitors are slain, they are rid of their wallets collected. If you think that's bad, just wait until you see the rides. The virtual reality arcade is more reality than virtual. Gravitron 2 is an unknown ride. Nobody ever leaves it. The Crystal Mountain climbing schedule gives free rocks. I forgot the other rides. Too bad Johnny doesn't know what you know now. He's only there to have fun. You're there to attempt to stop the terrors of Planet Pleasure before the entire galaxy decides to visit. You're the galaxy's only hope. Well, unless someone else is clever enough to get through alive. Well, if you don't make it, at least the rides are killer fun? Yeah, it does remind me of Mortal Harvey, alright, this. Yeah, it certainly does look like Mortal Harvey in a way. Yeah, not seeing any amusement park rides right now, actually. Oh shit, these are some tight jumps. Oh wow. I'm gonna get demolished here now, aren't I? Oh right, I can shoot back. I momentarily forgot about that. I need to shoot right in front of my face, ideally. I can only seem to shoot upwards, so I'm doing something wrong. I don't want to just shoot upwards. I figured that wasn't gonna work. Okay, definitely don't go down there. Yeah, these are tight jumps already. I really don't know how far I'm gonna get here. Probably not very far. I was gonna probably try that next. Can I really do much else? I don't know. Yeah, you gotta jump over it. Doesn't look like I can do much else at the moment besides just hop over this thing. Which just worked. I can see why. Oh wow, that was sketchy looking. Okay, I have to go this way, it looks like. Looks like I have to head here. Do I have to start climbing up here? Yeah, it really made the games this damn hard, this James Foe guy. Yeah, I'm not even seeing any amusement park rides, I'm just seeing death traps everywhere. I don't know about the fun part, but I know for sure the killer part, like, this guy got right. I definitely see the killer part here. Yeah, probably. Didn't even jump far enough, come on now. How did I miss that? Come on now, how did I miss that? Did I not jump far enough or something? Okay, how did I actually make that? That's more like it. I'm going a bit too fast now, aren't I? The screen needs to catch up. Not sure how I'm surviving all this still. Wow, okay. What? I was gonna say that, but Thunder's Not Johnny just beat me with a punch. I was about to say that. No fair. Yeah, this doesn't really feel like the Pleasure Planet to me, if you ask me. Yeah, I'm not gonna go far. Yeah, there was just something stuck in my teeth I was trying to quickly get out. I don't think I actually got it out anyways. So I'll just move on to the James Hoffman game, because there's only one that's confirmed to exist. Which he apparently made countless, but most were unfinished due to locked doors not opening properly. Yeah, I can imagine that would be a big deal. So this was made in 2014. I guess we'll just start the game then, Tea Time by James Hoffman. So does this guy actually have any animation or no? Okay, I can jump right, but can I only jump to the right? I can move left and right, but I can't jump left? Yeah, I can only jump right. So you can only jump forward, you can't jump in any other direction. The Game Maker Game Jam was in celebration of the RSD Game Maker source code becoming open source that year. Yeah, so 2014, like you said. Yeah, it looks simple enough. There's something up there, but I'm gonna guess it's just not reachable. I can't even go any further left. What if I go down here? Oh, there's something down here? Do I just keep falling forever? No, I end up back here eventually. I I guess that's like the best guess anyone's gonna come up with for what I'm picking up. So does anything happen if I get all these collectibles or no? Oh, really? You figured this out? I just dodged that one. Good going. Yeah, I can't actually jump over to grab more of the quote-unquote Doritos. The game won't let me. Let's see. Yep, and then there's 3 left. Let's see if I can get that done. Okay, I got 2 circles, so that looks like it's a good thing. Good for what it was going for. This is very bare bones. Oh, gotta get one more somewhere. I was hoping I was done by that point. Yeah, even more awkward still, like you can jump right, but you can't jump straight up, and you also can't jump left. Look at me trying to just jump across this hole here. I literally can't. Oh, I got it. I actually got it. Okay, never mind, it's possible. It was just barely so. To believe you can actually do that, like, holy shit. How is that even possible? I can't believe that's possible. Yeah, I think I'm good to just try and finish the game at this point. Yeah, I seem to have beaten it. Unless you know exactly where to fall to grab the neon circles, you'll just have to keep on trying until you just sort of feel like you know exactly where to fall. It's pretty trial and error. I just find it really awkward that you can't even jump left. So it was still pretty amusing to just try and jump over that 2-block wide gap from going from right to left, while only being able to jump right. James Morris, under the Hamster label, had developed a total of 9 games on this engine from 1992 to 1993. Currently, only 2 of his games are known to have survived. He went on to work for LucasArts and Capcom, even setting up on role as an associate producer on the 2009 Bionic Commando game. He eventually moved to educational software as he realized that there weren't many educational games that also met the entertainment part correctly. Okay, so Crystal Mania's 4, 5, and 6. Where were Crystal Mania's 1, 2, and 3? So most of these are lost games, including a superhero game that's also lost. So fantasy adventure game is also lost. Hoverboard game also lost. Jetpack game also lost. And undersea exploration game. Were these work in progress titles? I really hope so. Because these are just, it's too generic to actually be like real game names. That or they just sound like the name of a game within a game. I don't know. So Crystal Mania 4 and Super Hamster are playable to this day. So I will try both. Space Pirates from the Planet of the Pygmy People, we'll start with. Just seeing what's below, like, James Morris. Yeah, seeing what's below him. Yeah, it seemed fair enough that they were work in progress titles. That's actually pretty nice pixel art. Okay, now why am I looking at a pair of lips and some teeth? Yep, more Beethoven. More Beethoven in RSD Game Maker. Okay, then. Yeah, it certainly feels awkward, alright. Probably stolen, you think? You think it was taken from elsewhere? Not just the instructions, but everything else. That's not the game. Yeah, I probably will go back and read those, and also see the storyline and credits.
You got to be mine.
I don't even know what was just said, either. Looks like I have to crawl under these spikes, clearly. Am I supposed to be stuck inside these beams of light? Okay, there's a door with a Q above it. Let's go in. Buy bombs. Oh, buy skate bombs? It will cost you $25. How do I buy the skate bombs? Because that looks like it, but how do I buy it? Or do I just not have the money for it? Do I even need the skate bombs? Yeah, I probably don't have the $25 in this game. I'm gonna just hope I don't need them. I can just play onwards without.
Just sit right back.
Okay, and we're dead. So I don't know what that tidbit of audio playing when I died was supposed to be, because it just cut off in the middle of it. Okay, I just took the head off of some enemy. Right, this thing's on the ground, so can I just not hit it with my standard attack? What am I gonna pick up? I don't even know what I just grabbed. I might die before I can figure out what I picked up. No, not really. I'm alright with the Beethoven. I really don't mind the Beethoven here. How do I get through this? They're not that loud.
Just sit right back.
Just sit right back. And then it just cuts off. It's definitely the weirdest death sound I've heard in a long time. starts randomly playing some song I've never heard of. It doesn't even look like this guy would sound like that voice that plays when you die, either. I'm gonna go this way instead. Oh, what's this? Someone on a computer. Am I supposed to be stuck?
Just sit right back.
Yeah, it's definitely easy to take this seriously. So Crystal Mania 4, 5, and 6, why are 1, 2, and 3 not listed? I have to wonder. Okay, I can't pick up that spaceship, I don't think. What if I just drop down in the middle here? What happens? Oh, okay. Is there actually... Yeah, there's stuff down here. They were comic books? How do you know this? Oh, you got confirmation from Morse himself. They were comic books. Never would have guessed. Just sit right back.
Just sit right back. Just sit right back.
Can you actually game over in this or no? Oh, really? God, the hit detection on this platform is just garbage, I tell you. Not really good hit detection on this platform at all. I can just land on it and still fall off anyways. I don't even know where I'd begin to look for those comic books. I guess we'll be playing that soon at this rate. Yeah, hard to believe that you actually do go down here.
Just sit right back.
I'm guessing you do have infinite lives in this or something. How do you know this? Oh, should have known. I'm not paying enough attention to some of these jokes anyways. Jumped in midair and couldn't. Okay, you do run out of lives eventually. Yeah, this just screams DOS, what I'm looking at right now. This definitely screams DOS. Yeah, I missed the instructions and the storyline and the credits. Let's see those. The character's name is Bob. Up jumps and down ducks. 1 and 3 on the pad crawl, and 7 and 9 jump left and right. Keep num block on. Space shoots your crystal. B shoots boomerang 1. Q shoots boomerang 2. S rolls skate bombs that I didn't buy. R uses remote controls. To get an item, press G while over it. To drop an item into your inventory, press D and choose the item. And then joystick controls. Only need to get 5 items with the G button. Force fields are deadly, never ever touch one. Deactivate them first with the remote control. There are only 3 remote control recharges in the game, and 3 times you need to use it, so make sure you take good aim at the force fields before you attempt to deactivate them. Hint, save often so you won't have to go over the same place twice if you die. Press F1 for instructions during the game. Okay, so there is a storyline that I also missed. When we last left Bub, he was being knighted by Princess Maria Alicia Zebdar. With the Royal Crystal Sword, she dubbed him Sir Bub. Sir Bub. Yup. The ceremony was held in the Sacred Hall before the Great Crystal. As the sword fell upon Bub's shoulder, the crystal awoke for the first time in 10,000 years. The princess dubs thee Sir Bub. It said in the gentle voice that filled the minds of all at the palace for the knighting. Yeah. I'm honored you have woken, the princess said, kneeling. Looking around, Bub noticed he was the only one standing, so I kneeled too. Rise, Bub, the crystal said. I knew that was gonna happen, Bub thought to himself. Bub the princess has chosen you to protect our world, the crystal began. I know, Bub said. Pretty cool, huh? Yes, quite cool, said the crystal. But coolness is quite beside the point. I just judge whether or whether or not you were worthy. Bummer, Bub said. Yes, I'm quite bummerific. But again, Bub, it is beside the point. You have taken 10 fractured lands and healed them back into the planet they once were. You have vanquished 3 evils and have shown the utmost respect and care for our world. Thus there can be no doubt in my mind that you are worthy. I confirm this knighthood and grant the power of channeling, the crystal announced. Excellent, Bub said. The room filled with light shed from the crystal, nearly blinding everyone. The light focused on Bub, then he was filled out by it, then he passed out. All hail Sir Bub Star, Knight of Zebdar, the crowd roared. Bub made history that day. He was the first knight in 10,000 years. Now it's been 3 months and relatively quiet all over. Until this morning. As dawn broke, the air was filled with a giant explosion as a wall of the Crystal Palace was torn off by laser fire. Thousands of tiny green aliens dressed like pirates beamed down from a massive galleon made of steel overhead. In seconds, the castle treasure was completely looted and the creatures were beaming up. Bub awoke to find the princess blasting the ship with all the power of the Great Crystal. What's going on? Bub yelled over the sounds of lasers. Space pirates, she yelled. Looks like pygmy people. I thought they were friendly. Me too, but now they're darn inhospitable. And they've got some force field that not even the crystal can penetrate. I can get into the beam and go aboard our ship, Bub suggested. Are you nuts? Mary Alicia screamed. There's 6 gazillion of them. I gotta try, Bub explained. Hello, anyone home up there. It's suicide. You can't channel if you're not in contact with Zebdar. Don't let being a knight go to your head. We can send up a few crafts after them. The princes pleaded. Oh, so there are multiple princes also, not just a princess, but multiple princes. Don't worry, princess. Nothing goes to my head, Bub assured. Okay, I'll just skip like 2 pages of the story by accident and then just not even bother reading the rest of it. So, yeah. That's a thing. Okay, Super Hamster. We'll give Super Hamster a shot as well while we're at it. And then after that, I'll probably just end the stream. Alright, so Super Hamster. Curse of the Kooky Cult we're going to be playing next. Hamster Man presents Super Hamster. Is this really the... Yeah, this is seriously the title screen of the game. And I think this is Phantom of the Opera playing as well, but made with RSD Game Maker instrumentation. Yeah, I think this is also from Phantom of the Opera. Yeah, I recognize this. Controlling the characters. Use the numeric keypad to control the various characters that appear in the game. You can use a joystick if you have one. I'll just include the keyboard. Instructions here. That seems fair. Spacebar shoot high, S shoot low. Regular DOS instrumentation. MS-DOS FM stuff that was used to just recreate something from Phantom of the Opera. H. Release Hillary Clinton? What? Q. Do a little dance. T. A useless but fun button? Chad. Easy. Right arrow. 6. Skate left. Left arrow. 7. Skate right. But it's 4 left arrow, isn't it? Up arrow. 8. Hover up. Down arrow. 2. Crouch. 7. Hover left. 9. Hover right. J. Jump up. 1. Slide left. 3. Slide right. Chad. Hard. I'll just probably figure it out as I go at this point. Move right along to the stages, shall we? Let's. Stage 1, Dawn's Disco Inferno. The object of this stage is to get from the catwalk down to the convenient opening to the sewer at the ground floor. Very few enemies actually attack you in this stage, so shoot them for target practice. The stage builds your skills controlling SH. Power-ups are in mood rings. Stage 2, Phantom's Lair. Oh, so the Phantom of the Opera's lair. Now that you're in the Phantom's lair, it's just a matter of finding Mindy and escaping with her. Hey, there she is, but there's a wall between you and her, so you better find another route to the Phantom's inner sanctum. The bad guys are faster and smaller, but aren't very dangerous. Power-ups are in crystal balls. Stage 3, the mountains of redwood. These hills are alive with giant insects wearing togas. Your objective is to get the necrotic tissue from Madame Rossellini. Unfortunately, it's at the top, and you're at the bottom, so start climbing, Buster. The enemies are a little bigger and meaner here. Watch out for the invisible buffalo. Power-ups are in snowballs. Stage 4, Chad's Sewer Adventure. Chad must navigate through the sewers on his hoverboard in search of the lost disco ball. Don't worry so much about bad guys, because there aren't any. Power-ups including cubes. Stage 5, Channel 10, 3-part level. Power-ups, the Super Hamster logo will increase your score. Hearts will increase your hit points. Pictures of the character and extra life. Purple hearts, 3 to 5 extra lives. Any money-like thing. Money. Note. Hello there, person. Just a few things you should know before you get started. The voice files won't work on a few computers. If you get music and no voice, yours may be one of them. I'll see if it can't be fixed in the next version. If you get no music but voices or neither, it may be your driver, so try that in config. This game will work suckily on a 486SX with 4 megs. Okay, on a 486SX with 8 megs. Better on anything higher. A Pentium with 32 megs is nice. Do I need to know this? And then there's a storyline. I don't honestly really feel like reading this one. Storyline on whatever Crystal Planet was long enough. Crystal Mania. I felt like that story was long enough. Okay, why do I need to know, like, the 60% chance of thunder showers in the city north of Redwood, California? I don't know, I just honestly don't really feel like reading at the moment. That just goes on for a while. Also, the game is like 5 levels. I'll just play. Alright, so this is the first level. Oh, we can fly? Alright, can we just go to the disco? No, really, what is this jump sound? Also, I think the hurt sound from Frizz Bounce is back as well. Yep. Yep, that sound is back. Alright, there's some bunny heads on sticks for some reason. Okay, what's going on here? It doesn't sound like a crowd of people of me. Is that supposed to be like an eyeball plant right there? Next to that woman with blue hair? Are those supposed to be arcade machines right here? I honestly don't know what I'm playing right now. I have to wonder if I'm at least almost done level 1 here or not. Okay, there's a way out, I see. Oh, is that health? Might as well grab it. And the money while we're in front of it, too. Alright, what is this supposed to be? Yeah, this probably is weirder than the other game I was playing earlier. Yeah, come to think of it, these sound effects are much louder than the music that's currently playing. Andy the Pet Rock? What did T do again? Oh, what? Did I just turn into a clown or something with T? Okay, so what button was to release Hillary Clinton? H? Is that really supposed to be Hillary Clinton? I'll have to double check if it was H to release Hillary Clinton. How about I double check right now, actually? I mean, I did take a print screen of the instructions. I mean, how could I not take a print screen of that? How could I just say no to print screening that? Okay, it was H, so you're right. Yeah, it was the H. Q, do a little dance. T, a useless but fun button. Yep, that's actually what it said in the instructions. I think I'm stuck now or something? Yeah, I do seem to be stuck. Can't seem to press H right now. I seem to be completely stunned. And now we're dead. Right, so that's another game over. Yeah, that's the little dance he's doing. Yeah, that's the quote-unquote dance, by the way. And this is the fun button. Useless but fun button right here. Yep, it's not just Hillary Clinton, it's a flying Hillary Clinton. I can literally just spam these if I want. Yep, I can just keep on mashing H and literally cover a good portion of the screen with them. I don't know if I'm gonna come back to this game next week, because I'm really just honestly slacking on it right now. And I feel like just ending the stream. I feel like I'm kind of slacking on this one, so I could maybe see myself coming back to it next week in part 18. So I'll end the stream here.